Hey everyone, and welcome to this bonus section on nutrition, sleep, and exercise. I'm very excited to share some of my tips, some of the things that I learned thanks to working with some amazing professionals in this section. They have helped me improve my mental and physical state. And it's just super important. Won't only influence your chest, as I said, but just your everyday mood, your everyday life, how you feel. Before I dive into some of the things I do, I just want to state very clearly, I am no doctor, no nutritionist, no sleep psychologist or sleep scientist. I am just a person trying out different things and having found things that worked for me. So this is information only. You can try out some things on your own, but I don't guarantee that they will work for you. If you want to have the maximum, the best possible improvements in nutrition, sleep, and exercise, make sure to work with professionals. I have invested a lot of time and energy to work with professionals myself. And what they always repeated to me is that, yes, there are some general rules to follow, but everyone is different. So to find the best possible solution, you should get a specific recommendation for your exact case. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start. And just by repeating, there is a nice saying in Latin, mens sana in corpore sano, healthy mind in healthy body. So if you want to play chess well, you need to make sure your body is well. That's also one of the biggest things why chess is actually a sport, because you can only think very well if your body is in a good condition. And nutrition, sleep, and exercise are three of the most important things to keep your body in a good condition. Then, unless you want to be a super extreme athlete, I still believe that the 80-20 rule applies to health as well. So there will be so many things in this video that I'm doing. You should pick, at least at the beginning, figure out what is the biggest pain point for yourself and then try something to improve that point and then move on. Don't try to do everything perfect, because that usually doesn't work. And again, a repetition, just trying to cover my ass here and making sure that it's very well understood that I am no professional nutritionist, sleep scientist, exercise coach, whatever. So get professional help if you think that it's something you need to work on. Okay, let's start with nutrition. What is the goal of nutrition during a chess game especially? It is to keep the blood sugar level stable. What does that mean? When we eat, we take sugars to us, and if the sugar level goes up and down, your mood, your fatigue, your mental capabilities will also swing from wow, I'm doing amazing, to boom, I'm nearly sleeping because I ate so much. So our goal is to keep the blood sugar level stable. That's the first thing. Then we have a problem, because the nutrition can become more difficult when we are nervous. So on tournaments, usually your nutrition will need to be a little bit better even than at home. If you don't have nervosity, your stomach works better. And once you get nervous during a tournament, you have all that tension, your stomach starts to be a little bit more sensible to things. So just keep that in mind. What works at home might not work on a tournament. And then a general rule, if your stomach is working a lot, it has a lot to do, your brain is generally not working. We have examples like if you eat a huge meal, right? You have the dinner for Christmas, for example, and you're just eating, and then suddenly everybody is not talking anymore and they are all in a coma. That's what happens when everybody's stomach is so busy, digesting all this kind of food that just came down. Then your brain just shuts down and doesn't work anymore. So keep that in mind as well. So let's go to some nutrition tips. And this is things that worked for me. There are different people that need different kind of nutritions. But what I like is eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Like just huge breakfast, middle kind of lunch, and then a small dinner. It also helps for another section we are going to talk about, for the sleep actually. If you eat too much before sleeping, you can't sleep that well. Whatever you do, remember you are an endurance athlete. If you only follow this, if you think I'm a cyclist or I'm a marathon runner and you try to get the nutrition similar to what they do, you are actually doing a lot of things right, because we burn a lot of calories during chest. That's very surprising, but it is like that. We burn a lot of calories and we lose a lot of water, etc., etc. So we should behave like an endurance athlete. Very key point, I said that before, that your stomach can be, due to nervosity, a little bit more sensible. So never try out new things on tournament if you care about how you will feel. For example, when you fly to a beautiful new place, let's say you fly to India and they have amazing food, just absolutely, just so tasty, different spices, everything so well done. But you might not be used to some of their spices or to the intensity of their spices. So that can be actually dangerous to say, okay, let's try the best Indian kitchen with the spiciest food ever, because on a tournament, you will be extra nervous and then you try something new that doesn't usually work. So make sure, if you care about the performance in your chess games, to not take new things on a tournament. Try things out at home and then bring to the tournament the things that worked for you at home. This way your stomach is used to what it gets and doesn't get sensible and saying, no, I'm not having any of that. Then another tip from my side is that if you have digestion issues, and I had them and I still have them for a long time, is that teas can really help. Especially spice teas. You can have, for example, curcuma teas. You can have chai teas. You can have different kind of teas that help you calm down the stomach a little bit and just help the stomach do its work better. So that's always my, nearly free tip or nearly free thing I brought to the tournament. I said, okay, I cannot control maybe what I'm eating so much, but I can control what I'm drinking. Which teas I drink will help my stomach feel at home as well and just do its work a little bit better. And then both during training and during a game, we want to repeat it small portions. Remember, I said that we need to keep the blood sugar level stable. So if we have this huge portion, we have this ginormous lunch with a dessert and this and that, and then our stomach is just working like crazy for 2-3 hours, but then nothing is coming anymore. That's not good. What we want to have is during a tournament, especially during a game, if you play classical chess, you want to have repeated small portions. I try to eat something every hour, drink a little bit every hour, not drink 1 liter in 5 minutes and then not drink anymore for 3 hours, but just keep it repeated small portions. That helps. The stomach doesn't have to work as much anymore, and you have a constant blood sugar level. So let's go to the things you actually need to avoid. And those should make sense right now because you know some of the reasons behind it. Avoid energy drinks and soft drinks. Why? Because they both have a lot of caffeine, which will, make you super alert in a moment, but then sleepy in the other. And they have a lot of sugar, a lot of simple sugars that go into the blood immediately. So boom, again, you have a spike, high blood sugar level, and then later on you will get down with the blood sugar level and you will feel lazy, dizzy, fatigued. You don't want to work with your brain, and that's not what we want during a game. As I said already, too much caffeine can be very dangerous. Again, something that also is working for the sleep. So if you want to sleep better, if you have sleep problems, then look at your caffeine intake. We will talk about that later on as well. Remember, you don't want to have these simple sugars, either direct sugar, so you put sugar in your tea, that's not amazing, or these simple sugars with candies. They are in energy drinks, soft drinks, in all these things. There are simple sugars that go immediately into the blood. And then you have this big fall of the blood sugar level. That's not what you want. You want to have more complex sugars that go into the blood steadily over a longer period of time. Avoid heavy meals before the game. I talked about that already. Your stomach will not be very happy. And avoid alcohol, not only before a game. I don't think that's a good way to prepare for the game, but even in evenings and in general, just as a routine, the more alcohol you drink, the more you attack your brain cells actually. So you directly work against yourself if you drink a lot of alcohol. I really aim to keep my alcohol consumption as small as possible. I think I'm drinking maybe 2 or 3 times a month. And if I drink, I usually drink 1 beer and that's it. So really try to, regulate your alcohol consumption. Your body will be very, very happy. And not only your body, also your mind. So what should you drink and eat during a game or during training? Drink a lot of water, eat dates and banana. If you observe, for example, tennis players, they love dates and banana. If you observe other endurance athletes, you will see them take sports bars. I have in the notes, I have some sports bars that I used. You should get them nearly in every part of the world, I guess. So those can help as well. Eat complex sugar, as I said before. Don't have these simple sugars, complex sugars, and then you will be able to keep your blood sugar level very steady, very stable, and your mind will thank you with a good chess performance. Okay, guys, that was the nutrition. Let's move on to sleep. Sleep is extremely important for brain power, and I cannot get anything done if I'm not getting at least 7, but mostly 8 to 9 hours of high quality sleep a night. It's really so important, especially if you're used to sleeping much less. You might be surprised once you sleep for 1 week well, how your brain suddenly works. You might have thought, okay, that's just normal that you get a little bit fatigued, that your brain sometimes doesn't work. Then you realize, oh my God, if I'm sleeping well, my brain is working. What the heck is happening? I can train chess at 7 in the evening after a hard work day and my brain is there. So there's so much benefits to sleeping well. And one thing that helps me a lot is to track my sleep. I do that with a thing called Oura Ring. Again, I'll have a link above the video. I wear that during the day and during the night. It tracks not only my sleep, but my activity levels, how ready I feel, my heartbeat, and so on and so forth. And there are 2 main benefits of tracking your sleep. The first benefit is checking what works and what doesn't, right? For example, alcohol. I check that. Oh my God, when in the evening, even I drink 1 beer, I sleep so much worse. And it's just so clear. And also when I eat a lot, it's very clear. So all these things I can just track. I can understand what worked, what did I do yesterday, and what makes my sleep better or worse. The second thing is a very funny, just psychological way. Just by knowing that my ring is tracking my sleep, I take more care of myself. Because I know that in the morning I want to see my score. And sometimes with my fiancée Alessia, we will just say, hey, instead of saying, hey, you shouldn't do that, we will say, hey, Oura won't be happy if you do that. And it's also a very soft way to help the others stay in line with what we want to do, but without saying, you're so bad. No, you just say, Oura wouldn't be too happy. And suddenly I realize, yeah, that's true. I don't want to drink that beer, or I don't want to, do whatever doesn't help my sleep. One thing I also try to do, and I'm actually pretty good at it, is keeping sleep consistent. So your body will thank you with more nights of good sleep if you have a normal routine of sleeping time and waking up time. If on the weekend suddenly you sleep at 3 in the morning and usually during the weekdays you sleep at 10, your body gets a little bit confused. So again, there are many smarter people than me, scientists who can explain that in more detail why that is, but I just understand that for myself, and I learned it from them that you should keep your sleep consistent. What I learned is maximum 1 hour of difference is fine. So let's say you go to bed at 11 during the week, and you can go to bed at midnight on the weekend, and that's fine. But try to have as little difference as possible in your sleeping time. And then just a reminder from my side, sleep deficiency can cause chronic health issues, depression, obesity, and so many more things. So don't take it lightly. I sadly see way too many people saying, oh, I can sleep when I'm dead, ha ha ha, or like these kind of things in this culture where we should always do more. But it's not cool and it's not smart to cut back on your sleep. So please really take care of yourself. Think of ways how you can increase the quality of your sleep and how you can get at least these 7 and even better 8 or 9 hours of sleep every single night, so you recharge well and really just can enjoy life at its fullest, because your brain and your body do what you want them to do. So here are some sleep tips. Again, this is a long list because I've consistently worked on it. You can just pick whatever works best for you, try out one thing, see if it works, and then try out another. Get sunlight in the morning. That has to do with hormones. As I understand it in very basic, no biology English, you have happiness hormones that get activated when you get sunlight, especially get sunlight in the morning, because also your circadian rhythm, that's basically your body saying when he needs sleep and when he needs to be awake, when he wants to be awake, gets activated in that way and then creates sleepy hormones in the evening, so you feel tired when you should go to bed. Okay, I hope that made sense. People that know biology will think, oh my God, that guy that's just beyond him. But okay, I am of the opinion that you should understand things sometimes, but sometimes you just listen to an expert and they say you something and you're like, okay, I'll do that, even if I don't get why in biology term that really happens. Avoid screens before bedtime. That's very important because screens have this blue light, and this blue light basically tells your brain, hey, you need to be awake. There is a lot of light. So if you have screens before bedtime, it's much harder to fall asleep. I really noticed that we have this rule again with Alessia. At 10 in the evening, we are in bed, and at 11, we will sleep. And from 10 to 11, there's no single screen that is allowed to be turned on. So this way, we really make sure our brain understands, okay, it's getting slowly dark. We gotta go to sleep. Talked about this already earlier. Regulate caffeine intake. Best is not to just take anything, but you can take some caffeine. That doesn't have to be so bad, but just try to take it as early as possible in the morning, or at least don't take it in the afternoon or the evening. Again, there are amazing episodes, for example, from Huberman Lab about this, why you shouldn't take caffeine in the afternoon, but why you could take it in the morning, when you should take it exactly. So if you're interested in that, just make sure to check these things out. We try to keep our bedroom dark as possible, and I realized that it helps a lot when I go to holidays. And when suddenly, even a little bit of sun enters, my body just thinks, oh, it's time to wake up, even if it's 5 in the morning. So try to keep your bedroom as dark as possible. Try to avoid even, having a laptop that gets recharged and has some lights because it says I finished charging, or having phones inside that might blink because you got some messages. Like, just keep it as dark as possible. It should be pitch dark in the best case. It will help you sleep better. And to then later on transition, exercise can also help with sleep because you make your body tired. As I understand, you should, especially weight training is better in the mornings because you even get some benefits throughout the day. Again, this is just something I heard, something I try to follow, but not anything that I can explain you why that should be the case. Okay, some more sleep tips right here. We talked about it already. Avoid alcohol before bedtime. In general, avoid alcohol. It's you're just intoxicating yourself. I know it's fun having a drink from time to time. I do have that as well, but just try to cut back on it as much as possible. Then one thing that helps me a lot is when my mind is full of all these things, of all these ideas, and maybe I had meetings or I was talking to people and I just have to process these things. When my mind is overwhelmed, I cannot sleep because it's just going. So I take a diary and I write down everything, and then I calm my mind. I know it's in the diary. I can check it tomorrow. The ideas are written down. Now let's go to sleep. Then this is again something that I heard and that scientists say is that you should get used to only sleep in bed. Okay, if you want to have sex in the bed, that's good. But anything else should not be done in the bed. Let's say, for example, you are trying to work in the bed sometimes with the laptop. Then again, your body gets used. Oh, bed actually doesn't only mean sleeping, but bed also means working. This is the same principle as we talked about the chest zone, where your body should understand when you go into the chest zone, now it's chest time. Your body should understand when you go into bed, now it's sleeping time. One thing I used, this is not recommended by scientists, or I didn't hear that from scientists, but I just do that because I know it helps me, is having a separate mattress and duvet for me and my fiancé. Just avoids unnecessary fighting over the duvet, especially Alessia is very, very good in that because she would just end up with all the duvets and I had none of it. So I really had to just get my own stuff, get my own mattress because we like different forms of mattresses or different density of mattresses. So we just have both what fits or needs the best way possible. And then last but not least, use naps if needed. Keep them short. I think 15 to 20 minutes is the sweet spot, what they say. If you do longer than that, you fall into the deep sleep and you might even wake up more tired than you went to bed or went to take the nap. So use naps if needed. Don't keep them too late in the afternoon or evening because that might impact your ability to then fall asleep at night, and keep them as short as possible, or 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, guys, I know this is a long video, and it's a lot of information, but I just wanted to give you these inputs and you can use them in a way that suits you best. So let's finish off with exercise. Exercise is super important, but again, it can be that we think, oh, we need to do everything perfect. And one of my best friends is actually a physical coach, and he also says that simplicity is extremely important in exercise. So some things I do, I list here, and just pick one thing, start making it a habit, and then pick a second one. So recently I just did a challenge of 30 days, 10,000 steps a day. And this was very simple to track because my Oura Ring already tracked it. And it was just a fun way to get more walking, to not only stand more, but really walk more, move my body, helps me also process things, helps me also brainstorm stuff. Also for this course, for example, some parts of that course were done or thought through on a walk. So this is a good way to keep fit, make something for your mind, and make sure you get a lot of fresh air outside as well. Another thing I started a few months ago, and that was amazing for me, it's not really exercise, but it feels like it sometimes, is working on a standing desk. I'm now basically exclusively working by standing, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, my feet sometimes hurt. For example, now at the moment, after some recording and being a little bit nervous while recording, my feet can hurt a little bit, but the benefits far outweigh the cons. I feel much better from my muscular tensions. If you remember my brain injury that causes muscular tensions on my back, that is much, much better. I feel stronger. I feel less lazy when I stand up, because when I'm standing, I have energy. But when I sit down and you're in a strange position in your chair, then I get to do even more bad things on my computer, just get distracted easier. But when I'm standing, I don't have these things. So that's something that can work for you as well. Watch out for your posture. So we want to exercise to get benefits. We want to exercise to even think better. We want to get endurance, but we also want just to have a good posture, especially for chess players. If we play over the board chess all the time, we might just have this bad posture that impacts not only our fitness or our way to think, but it impacts also how healthy we will be when we get older. So really watch out for your posture. Make a posture check from time to time. Shoulders should be down, not up. Don't be in a nervous way that all the muscles are tense when you stand or sit. That's just a reminder. What I'm doing right now, actually the 2 to 3 times is maybe even exaggeration, because it's really just 2 times. It's 2 times weight training a week. I did a plan with a coach that knows what he's doing, and I said him what I needed. I'm focusing on health benefits. I'm not focusing on looking nice. I don't need a 6-pack or whatever. I don't need to show off, but I just want to have health benefits. So I have 2 times a week, roughly 1 hour, 1 hour 15 session in the gym. And I also try to keep it simple. That's what I tell you all the time, and I need to do that for myself. Really keep it simple and then improve slowly. Why didn't I have additional cardio on this list? Well, at the moment, I'm actually not doing much cardio. I'm really just focusing on honing in this weight training. I think in the last 8 months, I managed to gain 7 kilograms of muscle weight. I think that's around 14 pounds for those not knowing what kilograms are. And it just feels great. I feel much more fit, much more healthy. My back is more trained. And once I really feel that I got into the habit and I will do it blindly, I can start again doing some cardio as well. So that was it. I know, again, a long video. I hope you can take something out of it. Make sure to check out the resources. Those are much smarter people, studied people, people that just think their whole life about nutrition, sleep, or exercise. So if you got a little feeling of, yeah, I want to improve one of these parts or all of them, make sure to check out the resources. Make sure to maybe contact even a professional and work on yourself. Your body and mind will thank you with a better performance and with just a better feeling in your everyday life.